Okay, just a quick comparison as the sun goes down on Idleshire of the final abilities of the 4 classes that I've actually gotten to max level in this expansion. Just for a little insight into how dicked over I feel as monk. Here is the monk's final ability, Brotherhood. Keep in mind it actually has no proper effect on the monk other than the RNG chance, low chance that is, from other players. This is how visually stimulating it is as well. Eh, I mean, nothing to write home about at all. Pretty terrible. But it's pretty average as Final Fantasy. That's very tame as an effect goes. And we'll see as we go on further. So, the next one is the Dark Knight. Now, the Dark Knight's ability isn't super visually stimulating, but it is a massively low cooldown, and is extremely useful. It gives a really high shield that you can either use on yourself or others. I don't have any assistance here, so I'm just going to be doing it to myself here. And this is Blackest Night. It gives a large shield, only a 15-second cooldown. And when it pops, it also gives him half. It fills up half of his blood gauge bar, which is really useful. You can do some high attacks with that. And that's the Dark Knight's ability. Moving on to the next one, we have the Warrior. Now I'm just going to go into the correct stance, so this is not the effect. And this is the actual ability. Very good buff. Very, very good buff. Makes him basically CC immune, um, except to very slight, very few effects in high level bosses, and doesn't exactly buff his damage directly, but reduces all of his costs through his beast gauge, so therefore buffs his damage. So very cool, and it's just very visually stunning. Visually stunning, sorry. Um, the final one is the Paladin, the one I've been maining lately. Sword and Shield. His ability is one of the most visually stunning, and it's very cool. Um, I like to main Reinhardt, so this is obviously one of my favorite sort of abilities. Protects all your teammates, reduces the damage you take greatly, and reduces the damage of everyone behind you by a large amount. And it also lasts for a decent amount of time, so let's take a look at it. Also, pay close attention to the actual characters' animations, not just the magical effects. It's very good. Oh, sorry, I think I have to be in the right stance. What the fuck? Oh, shit, it shares cooldown, switching between classes. Just gotta wait for the cooldown. God damn, that's annoying. So similar large effects will share a cooldown, so you can't just hot swap between your classes as fast as you'd like. Um, Honestly, this has been a problem for video making in the past, but at the same time, it really doesn't make any goddamn sense, seeing as you cannot switch classes in combat, and if you're in a dungeon or raid, you also cannot switch classes. So, um, even if you leave, you can't come back to the raid, so you can't switch. So, really, there's no practical reason. But here we go. Now I can show off the ability. Again, pay close attention to his actual movements himself, not just the magical effects. And so any allies standing behind in the sort of wings get a decent bit of protection, percentage damage reduction. Very useful for blocking those large boss abilities. Uh, Even though they have to be standing behind me, it doesn't actually matter which direction the attack comes from. Although it looks like it should have to come from the front, it doesn't actually have to come from any single direction. It could come from anywhere. But as long as they're behind me, they get a damage reduction. So that's all the abilities, and honestly, I think it's pretty much a slaughter as far as final abilities go. There's a bit of I'd say the Warriors and the Paladins are definitely the best, but the Dark Knights is extremely practical. Um, and on a massively lower cooldown. Um, but the monks one is straight up across the board terrible. That's that. All right.